The text came at 2:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. Finally getting rid of your money pit. Closing Friday. You're welcome. My sister Amanda. Always helpful. Always looking out for me. Except I wasn't selling my townhouse. Never planned to. Michael Rivera had lived there for 8 years, paid $2,200 monthly like clockwork, maintained the place better than I ever could. Lease ran through December 2026. Why would I sell a property generating $26,400 annual passive income? I called her immediately. What are you talking about? The townhouse on Maple Street. I found buyers. Cash offer. $625,000. You'll clear about $480,000 after fees. Her voice carried that irritating confidence she'd perfected. I'm handling everything. Title company inspection, closing docs. You just need to show up Friday and sign. Amanda, I'm not selling. Michael has a lease. That loser? I already told him he needs to vacate. Lease or no lease, buyers want immediate possession. She laughed. Besides, you've been too busy with your little nonprofit to handle real estate properly. I'm doing you a favor. I never authorized this. Mom and Dad agree you should sell. We voted. 3 against 1. Democracy. She hung up. I sat in my office at the Veterans Housing nonprofit where I worked as program coordinator. The little nonprofit, Amanda dismissed. I stared at my phone. Then I opened my property management app. Michael's rent for October. Paid in full 4 days early, same as always. Lease agreement. Active, legally binding, 26 months remaining. I called my real estate attorney, Margaret Chin. She can't sell property she doesn't own, Margaret said flatly. That's fraud. Multiple felonies, actually. Forged signatures, fabricated documents, false representation. What do I do? Nothing. Let her proceed. Document everything. When it implodes, and it will, you'll have evidence for criminal prosecution and civil damages. You want me to let her commit fraud? I want you to let her finish committing fraud. Half-attempted crimes are harder to prosecute. Completed fraud with witnesses, victims, and paper trail? That's a prosecutor's dream. The logic was surgical. Detective. Forward me everything she sends, Margaret continued. Every text, email, document. I'll prepare cease and desist letters and injunctions. But we wait until Friday. Let the buyers, the title company, and your family witness the whole collapse. I forwarded her the text. Then I called Michael. Mr. Rivera, did my sister contact you about vacating? Oh man, yes. Yesterday. Very aggressive. Said I had to be out by Friday or she'd have me forcibly removed. Michael's voice carried confusion, not anger. I told her I have a lease. She said leases don't matter when property sells. That true? No. Your lease is legally binding. She has no authority to sell my property or terminate your tenancy. So, I don't have to leave. Absolutely not. In fact, I need a favor. Friday around 3 p.m., my sister is bringing buyers for a final walkthrough. When they knock, please answer the door normally. Be polite. Explain you're the tenant. Show them your lease if they ask. Silence. Then, this is about to get interesting, isn't it? Very. I'm in. 8 years you've been a good landlord. Time I return the favor. I spent Wednesday and Thursday watching the family group chat explode with excitement. Amanda had promised each family member $50,000 from the sale proceeds. Mom planned a Mediterranean cruise. Dad bought vintage car auction catalogs. My brother Jeremy researched investment properties he'd buy with his cut. They'd already spent money that didn't exist from a sale that couldn't happen. Thursday night, Amanda sent photos of staged documents. Purchase agreement, title commitment, closing disclosure. All featured my forged signature. The buyers, Richard and Susan Chin, relocating from California. All cash offer, no contingencies. Margaret examined the documents. She hired someone to forge these. Probably paid $500 online. The notary stamp is fake. Wrong state seal, improper format. Your signature is close but the pressure points are wrong. She traced it. How'd she even attempt this? Desperation or arrogance? Probably both. She's convinced she's smarter than everyone else. Classic Dunning-Kruger effect. Incompetent people overestimate their abilities because they lack the knowledge to recognize their incompetence. I thought about Amanda's entire life. Barely graduated college. 3 failed businesses. Constantly borrowing money from parents. But convinced she was the family genius, the entrepreneur, the visionary. And now the fraudster. Friday arrived. I parked 3 blocks from the townhouse at 2:30 p.m. Margaret sat beside me in her car, tablet ready. We waited. At 2:55 p.m., Amanda's BMW pulled up. She stepped out wearing a real estate blazer. Costume confidence. A well-dressed couple emerged from a Lexus. The Chens. Behind them my parents' Cadillac. Jeremy's truck. The whole family. Witnesses to Amanda's triumph. She gestured grandly at the townhouse. Original hardwood floors, updated kitchen, finished basement. You're going to love it. The Chens smiled politely. Mom and Dad beamed with pride. Jeremy filmed on his phone, probably planning to post about his sister's real estate success. Amanda climbed the front steps. Knocked authoritatively. Just need to do final walkthrough, confirm condition, and we're good for closing Monday. The door opened. Michael Rivera stood there in his work uniform. He managed a logistics company. 8 years I'd known him. Reliable. Professional. Paid rent early. Kept the place immaculate. Never a single complaint. Can I help you? Michael asked politely. Amanda's smile froze. Who are you? Michael Rivera. I live here. No, you don't. This property is vacant. Closing Monday. Ma'am, I've lived here 8 years. Paid rent this month on October 1st. My lease runs through December 2026. Richard Chin stepped forward. I'm sorry, there must be confusion. We're purchasing this property. Vacant possession at closing. Michael looked genuinely apologetic. I don't know anything about a sale. My landlord never mentioned it. He pulled out his phone, opened his rental app. See? Active lease. Current rent, $2,200 monthly. Next payment due November 1st. Susan Chin turned to Amanda. You said vacant possession. It is vacant. This is. Amanda's face cycled through confusion to anger. You need to leave. Now. Ma'am, this is my home. I have legal right to be here. Mom rushed up the steps. Amanda, what's happening? This squatter. I'm not a squatter. Michael's voice stayed calm. Professional. I'm a legal tenant with a binding lease. He looked at the Chens. If you're buying this property, you should know it comes with an existing tenancy. The lease transfers to the new owner. You can't just remove me. Richard Chin pulled out his phone. Started making a call. Jeremy stopped filming. Wait, Amanda, you said the place was empty. It is empty. Someone must have broken in. I have 8 years of rent receipts, Michael said. Utility bills in my name. My driver's license shows this address. I can prove everything. Susan Chin spoke sharply to Amanda. Who actually owns this property? I do. I mean, it's family property. I'm handling the sale. Your name on the deed? Silence. Ma'am, Richard Chin said coldly, our attorney is on the line. He's advising us this appears to be fraud. Vacant possession was guaranteed in the purchase agreement. That's when Margaret Chin, no relation to the buyers, stepped out of my car and walked across the street. She carried her tablet and a leather portfolio. I followed. Excuse me, Margaret said crisply. I'm Margaret Chin, real estate attorney. I represent the actual property owner. Amanda's face drained white. What? The property owner, Margaret continued, looking at the Chens, never authorized this sale. The signatures on your purchase agreement are forged. The title commitment is fabricated. This entire transaction is fraudulent. I stepped beside her. I own this property. Have since 2016. Never planned to sell. Never authorized anyone to represent me. Every document is fake. Mom gasped. Dad actually stumbled backward. Jeremy's phone captured everything. Richard Chen's voice went ice cold. We wired $25,000 earnest money yesterday. To whom? Margaret asked. Maple Street Properties LLC. The seller's company. There is no Maple Street Properties LLC, Margaret said. I checked. No such entity registered in this state. Your money went to a fraudulent account. Susan Chin was already on her phone. Police. Now. Amanda tried to run. literally turned and ran toward her car. But Dad grabbed her arm. Amanda, what did you do? I was helping. The property, it's underperforming, needed to. You forged my signature, I said quietly. Created fake documents. Stole $25,000 from these people. Promised my parents and brother money you didn't have. That's wire fraud. Real estate fraud. Forgery. Identity theft. It's family property, Amanda said desperately. We all should benefit. It's my property. Title in my name only. You have zero ownership. Zero authority. Zero rights. Michael still stood in the doorway, watching the implosion with appropriate concern. Caught his eye. He nodded, you okay? I nodded back, I'm fine. The police arrived at 3:17 p.m. 2 patrol cars. Margaret handed them documents. My deed, my signed statement, Michael's lease, the forged purchase agreement, communications from Amanda, wire transfer records showing the Chen's $25,000. Officer Rodriguez listened to everyone. Examined the documents. Then, ma'am, I'm placing you under arrest for real estate fraud, wire fraud, forgery, and identity theft. Amanda started crying. I'm sorry. I thought, I was trying to help. You stole from everyone here, the officer said. Including your own family. Mom and Dad stood frozen. Jeremy filmed until an officer told him to stop. The Chens gave statements, faces carved from stone. Michael provided his lease and rent history. 8 years of documentation proving lawful tenancy. Will we get our earnest money back? Susan Chen asked me. I'll personally refund it, I said. This isn't your fault. My sister defrauded you. I'll wire $25,000 tomorrow. That's not your responsibility. I know. But you were victimized because of my family. I'll make it right. They left. I agree. Rightfully so. Amanda sat in the patrol car. Mom and Dad approached me. We didn't know, Dad said. You believed her. No questions asked. She said she was selling my property and you were fine with it. We thought you'd agreed. She told you I agreed? Silence. No, she hadn't. They simply assumed. Assumed I'd go along. Assumed Amanda had authority. Assumed I was too passive to object. She promised you $50,000 each, I said. You were spending it before the sale even closed. Nobody thought to ask if I actually wanted to sell? Mom's hands trembled. We're sorry. You're sorry you got caught. If Michael hadn't been home, if the buyers hadn't called police, you'd have happily taken your cut of stolen money. Jeremy finally spoke. I posted about it. On Instagram. Called Amanda a real estate genius. Better delete that, I said. Quickly. He fumbled with his phone. I turned to Michael. Thank you. I'm sorry you got dragged into this. Hey, 8 years you've been nothing but professional. One afternoon of drama? Worth it. He smiled slightly. Besides, I got to say, I'm a legal tenant with a binding lease to cops. Always wanted to do that. I laughed. Actually laughed. First time all week. Margaret and I drove to her office. She filed criminal complaints, civil suits, restraining orders. The state's attorney accepted the case immediately. Clear evidence, multiple witnesses, documented fraud. Over the next 3 weeks, Amanda was charged with 4 felonies. Bail set at $75,000. My parents paid it. Money they'd promised themselves from the fake sale. The irony was perfect. The Chens received their $25,000 refund from me. They sent a thank you note and a bottle of wine. Decent people victimized by my sister's arrogance. Jeremy's Instagram post had gotten 847 likes before he deleted it. Screenshots spread. Real estate genius became a mocking hashtag in our town. He blocked me on all platforms. Mom and Dad sent multiple messages. Apologies. Explanations. Invitations to talk this through as a family. I didn't respond. There was nothing to discuss. They'd watched Amanda attempt to steal my property and cheered. Michael's November rent arrived 4 days early, same as always. I created a new document, the Ghost Ledger. Years of family dismissal monetized. Every time Amanda called my nonprofit work a hobby, cost equals professional dignity never recovered. Every time parents said I wasn't business-minded like Amanda, cost equals self-worth, systematically destroyed. Every time family forgot to invite me to gatherings but remembered when they needed money. Cost equals belonging permanently damaged. The assumption I'd comply with selling my property. Cost equals autonomy, faith in family judgment. 8 years of proving myself through reliable property management, on-time mortgage payments, excellent tenant relations. Cost equals wasted effort trying to earn respect from people incapable of giving it. 3 weeks after Amanda's arrest, Margaret called. Prosecutor offered plea deal. Felony fraud, 3 years probation, restitution, community service. She's taking it. Trial would have been 5 years minimum. Good. Your parents want to settle the civil suit. They'll pay Amanda's restitution if you drop charges against them. They weren't charged criminally. The civil suit. Conspiracy to commit fraud. They knew about the sale, participated, expected proceeds from it. I thought about it. About Mom planning her cruise. Dad with his auction catalogs. Jeremy posting celebration videos. All of them spending stolen money before it existed. No settlement, I said. Let it proceed. You're sure? Completely. The civil trial happened 4 months later. My attorney presented evidence. Text messages, group chat conversations, statements from the Chens, police reports. The family's defense. We didn't know it was fraud. The judge reviewed messages where I explicitly told them I wasn't selling. Where they dismissed my objections. Where they spent money they knew came from a property they knew was mine. Judgment. $127,000 in damages. Joint and several liability. They could divide it however they wanted. I didn't care. Mom called after the verdict. You're destroying this family. Amanda destroyed it when she forged my signature. You destroyed it when you cheered. I'm just holding everyone accountable. We're your parents. And I'm your daughter. With property rights. And legal protections. And standards for how families should treat each other. I hung up. 8 months after the final walkthrough, Michael's lease renewed automatically, another 2 years. He signed it the same day. Rent increased to $2,350 monthly per market rates. He paid early as always. I visited the townhouse for quarterly inspection. Michael had planted flowers in the front beds. Repainted the fence. Replaced the mailbox. The place looked better than when I bought it. You taking good care of it, I said. It's home. 8 years now. Planning on 10 more if you'll have me. Deal. We shook hands. I drove past my parents' house on the way home. The for sale sign surprised me. Later learned they were downsizing. Legal fees and civil judgment depleted savings. The Mediterranean cruise never happened. Dad's auction catalogs gathered dust. Amanda's probation prohibited contact with me. Fine by me. Her Facebook showed vague posts about learning experiences and toxic family members. I didn't engage. Didn't need to. Jeremy never apologized. Blocked me everywhere. Heard through mutual friends he blamed me for ruining Amanda's life. As if she hadn't ruined it herself. I built a life on my own terms. The nonprofit grew. We housed 247 veterans last year. My townhouse generated steady income. I bought a second property, then a third. Managed them carefully. Built equity. Proved competence. Not to my family. To myself. The mechanical doorbell at my own apartment rings sometimes late at night. But I don't answer calls from family numbers anymore. Changed my address. Updated emergency contacts. Built boundaries with deadbolts. Last month, Michael sent a text. 10 years next April. Want to plant a tree to celebrate. We planted a Japanese maple in the backyard. It'll grow slowly. Require care. Develop deep roots. Eventually provide shade and beauty. Unlike my family of origin, the tree will actually appreciate nurturing. I sleep well at night. No guilt. No regret. No wondering if I was too harsh. They wanted my property. I protected it. They dismissed my autonomy. I enforced it. They expected compliance. I delivered consequences. The townhouse stands solid at 847 Maple Street. Michael's home. My investment. Our mutual respect. Amanda wanted to profit from something she didn't build, didn't own, didn't earn. Instead she lost everything. The math is simple. Steal from family, lose family. Forge signatures, gain felony record. Promise money you don't have, destroy trust permanently. Michael just paid December rent. 4 days early. Same as always. That's what reliability looks like. That's what respect feels like. I found both, just not where I expected. Not in blood. In a tenant who showed up at the door and told the truth.